There's the bell. Good morning. This November 17th, 2021 meeting of the Board of Estimates is now called to order. In the interest of promoting health and safety as we continue to deal with COVID-19 pandemic, the Board of Estimates will continue to meet virtually. At this time, I'd like to ask Comptroller Henry for any corrections, additions, and noted abstentions on today's agenda.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have a walk-on item from Steve Sharkey, Director of the Department of Transportation. The Board of Estimates is requested to approve a developer's agreement with 420 Asquith LLC. A performance bond in the amount of $256,456 has been issued to 420 Asquith LLC, who assumes 100% of the financial responsibility. 420 Asquith LLC would like to construct various utilities, including water, storm drain, conduit, and sanitary, to its property located at 3819 Bank Street. This agreement will allow the organization to do its own installation in accordance with Baltimore City standards. MBE/WB participation and local hiring are not applicable, and this will be page 91 of the agenda. This item will also be added to the agenda and uploaded to the Comptroller's website. And there are no other corrections to the agenda. There are no protests for today's meeting. There are no deferrals or withdrawals. The following items are moved to the non-routine agenda. On page 64, Department of Audits, the biennial performance audit of the Department of Housing and Community Development for the fiscal years ended June 30th, 2020 and June 30th, 2019. On page 86, the Mayor's Office of Recovery Programs Interagency Agreement with the Baltimore City Health Department. On page 87, Mayor's Office of Recovery Programs Interagency Agreement with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement. And on page 91, Department of Transportation Developers Agreement number 1737 with 420 Asquith LLC. No items are being moved to the routine agenda. The board has received the following abstentions. The Honorable Mayor Brandon Scott is abstaining on pages 14, 15, item number 3, Health Department Agreement with the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine, and page 75, Department of Transportation Traffic Mitigation Agreement with the Johns Hopkins Hospital. The Honorable President Nick Mosby is abstaining on page 36, item number 8, Bureau of Procurement Contract number 08000, Law Books, State's Attorney's Office. There are no other abstentions, no votes, and no rejection of recommended awards.
Thank you, Mr. Comptroller. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to add 420 Asquith LLC to the non-routine agenda.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say nay. Let the record reflect that 420 Asquith LLC has been moved to the non-routine agenda as a walk-on item. I now would like to direct the board's attention to a memorandum from my office dated November the 15th, 2021, identifying matters to be considered as routine agenda items, together with any corrections and additions that have been noted by our comptroller. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to approve all items on the routine agenda.
So moved.
A second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The routine agenda items are now adopted. The first item on the non-routine agenda today can be found on page 64, Biennial Performance Audit of the Department of Housing and Community Development for the fiscal year ending in June 30th, 2020 and June 30th, 2019. At this time, I'd like to recognize our City Auditor, Josh Pash, to introduce his team as well as speak to this audit report. Mr. Auditor, the floor is yours.
Good morning, Mr. President, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Comptroller, and the members of the Board of Estimates. My name is Josh Pash, and I am the City Auditor. I am here today to present the Biennial Performance Audit on the Department of Housing and Community Development. I would like to thank the audit team and the Department of Housing and Community Development members for having us and helping us achieve a successful audit. The objectives of the audit were to evaluate whether the city has an effective process to identify and accurately report the city's vacant properties and to follow up on prior findings and recommendations included in the previous biennial performance audit report dated November 7th, 2019. The scope of our audit was fiscal years 2020 and 2019. During this audit, we had no audit findings. Regarding prior findings, the implementation status of the prior findings. There were 2 prior year findings. One was implemented and one was not implemented. The implemented finding was regarding periodically reevaluating the reasonableness of target set for Service 751, performance measure the number of inspections, and that was implemented. The finding that was not implemented was regarding a process to ensure the accuracy and completeness of all subrecipient rewards, contracted activities, and the corresponding metric calculations in for the scope for the Service 593. At that time, the DHCD had processes for tracking subrecipients' activities spread over multiple databases, and the recommendation was related to combining those and reconciling information. Current status is the DHCD did initiate a new database system, the Neighborly Database Software, and began staff training. However, as of the audit, all the risks were not identified and were not resolved, and they won't be resolved until the software is fully implemented. And we noted that DHCD does have a project plan to have it fully implemented by the 4th quarter of 2022. I will answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, Mr. Auditor. At this point, are there any questions or concerns from members of the board? I think, Mr. Auditor, we're shocked that you didn't have any new findings. Is that a first time for that?
It is not a first time.
It's not a first time. All right. Our hat still goes off to the members of the Department of Housing and Community Development for at least listening to, I guess, being in line with this particular audit and not having any findings. Again, at this point, are there any additional questions or concerns from members of the board for Mr. Auditor? Hearing and seeing none, even though there weren't any new findings, I think there was a report that maybe one of the old findings wasn't necessarily fully implemented at this point from a Department of Housing and Community Development perspective. Anybody like to speak on behalf of that or your stellar job of not having any additional findings? Is that you, Jason?
Yep, Jason Hessler, Baltimore City Department of Housing. I'm on here. I know 563 doesn't fall under permits and litigation, but I'm familiar with it and aware of it. And as the auditor said, it is in full swing to fully implement the strategy to be able to track all the grants and subrecipients and be able to fully report on all that information. So we're confident that we'll meet the deadline and achieve that. And we're very happy with not having any findings. We thank the full audit team. They were a pleasure to work with. And we would point anybody in the public that's listening to DHCD's code map and our dashboard, which is public facing, and you can click on code map and the dashboard, and you can see exactly how many vacant building notices are currently out in the city, and use the map to find those that are in your neighborhood. And it has some filtering tools, so you can see what the city owns and use that as a resource.
Thank you, Deputy Commissioner Hessler. At this point, are there any additional questions, concerns for Department of Housing and Community Development from members of the board? Hearing and seeing none, thank you, Mr. Auditor. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Commissioner. We will note this audit and move on to the next agenda item. Next up on today's non-routine agenda, it can be found on page 86, Mayor's Office of Recovery Programs Interagency Agreement. This is an agreement between the Office of the Baltimore City Department of Health to allocate $80 million from Baltimore City's American Rescue Plan funds for various COVID-related expenditures. At this time, I'd like to turn the floor over to the Director of the Mayor's Office of Recovery Programs, Ms. Shemaya Kearney, to go through this agreement. Director Kearney, the floor is yours.
Good morning, members of the board. And just for the record, I'm not a doctor, but I appreciate you manifesting that for me, Council President.
I meant to say director. I'm sorry about that.
I'll take doctor. It sounds good at least. So thank you for the opportunity to discuss the interagency agreement with BCHD, and also with, BCHD, we're starting with them. So the agreement is for $80 billion to cover a variety of areas. That would include our public health response to COVID-19. The breakdown of the dollars that have been included in the budget include for testing, for vaccination, for contact tracing, for PPE, for vulnerable populations, particularly our seniors, and for food insecurity, as well as some administrative expenses, and also for a COVID-19 comprehensive communications campaign to aid vaccination for those hesitant populations. Are there additional questions that you have about the breakdown of the budget?
I have the opportunity to kind of speak with you with this, so I want to provide opportunities for members of the board. Director Kearney comes in front of the council quarterly to provide updates. So again, if members of the board have any additional questions or concerns regarding the breakdown of the budget, at this time is your opportunity to ask. Mr. Comptroller, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that the Chief Recovery Officer and her staff also briefed my office and went through all of these in fair detail. I do look forward to continuing to see the council do oversight with their regular briefings from the office, and I appreciate this additional open transparency to the distribution of the ARPA funds. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, are there any additional questions or concerns from members of the board regarding this item? Hearing and seeing none, at this point, I'll entertain a motion.
I move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is now approved. On to our next item of today's non-routine agenda. It can be found on page 87, the Mayor's Office of Recovery Programs Interagency Agreement. This is similar to our last item and is the agreement between the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement to provide $50 million from Baltimore City American Rescue Plan funds for violence reduction initiatives. At this time, I will once again call to the floor, not doctor, but director of the Mayor's Office of Recovery Programs, Ms. Shamaya Kearney. Director Kearney, the floor is yours.
Thank you. As noted, this is an interagency agreement between the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement for our violence prevention and interruption initiatives. This is for $50 million, and the breakdown of that budget is as follows. $23 million for gun violence. That includes grants to CBOs to administer community violence intervention programming, as well as case management, emergency housing and relocation assistance, as well as transitional employment programming. It also provides for mental health supports via contracted clinicians and healers. It also includes funding for our reentry support. That would be a contract that would provide assistance to individuals that are returning to our community and assisting them with employment opportunities. It also includes funding for administration, which would provide dedicated staff to ensuring the efficient implementation of these programs. There's also dedicated funding for youth and trauma, for trauma-informed care for residents, and also to support the implementation of recommendations coming from the Child Fatality Review Board. There's also funding available for our neighborhoods, which includes a landscape analysis of traditional and non-traditional community-based organizations. Also includes grants to community-based organizations to support the coordinated neighborhood stabilization response effort. And then lastly, also funding available for victim services, which would also provide CBOs grants for domestic violence prevention and expansion of hours at the Baltimore Visitation Center, and some other tasks as well.
Thank you, Director Kearney. At this point, are there any additional questions or concerns from members of the board for Director Kearney in this particular item? Comptroller Henry, the floor is yours.
It's technically not a question for Director Kearney, but more just a reminder that I've got to come see Director Jackson in her office so I can see that wall up close and get a better grasp of how things are moving. But no, again, we were fully briefed, and thank you for this opportunity.
No, thank you, Comptroller Henry. At this point, are there any additional questions or concerns? Hearing and seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is now approved. The last and final item is the walk-on item that we talked about at the beginning. It's on the non-routine agenda, and again was introduced at the beginning of today's meeting, and is the Department of Transportation Developers Agreement number 1737 with 420 Asquith LLC. At this time, I'd like to recognize Director Steve Sharkey and Mr. David Frame to explain this item. The floor is yours, DOT.
Good morning, Mr. President, honorable member of the Board of Estimates. I'm David Fram, Department of Transportation, representing the department this morning, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to explain this project. 420 Asquith LLC is part of the Perkins Somerset Old Town redevelopment. This is the first developers agreement that we placed before the Board of Estimates to allow for, as the Honorable Comptroller Henry said, new storm, sanitary, water conduit, and landscaping at this particular site. And due to settlement issues, the developer 420 Asquith LLC is anticipating going to settlement November 19th. That precipitated the need for the walk-on. If it was explained to us that if they did not make the deadline of the 19th for settlement, it would be sometime either after Thanksgiving or toward Christmas, which would put a little bit of a delay in the construction. So I'm here if the board has any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fram. At this point, are there any additional questions or concerns from members of the board? Hearing and seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is now approved. At this point, are there any closing remarks folks would like to make before we adjourn? Hearing and seeing none, as there's no new business before the desk or the board, we will recess until bid opening at 12 noon. The Board of Estimates will reconvene on Wednesday, November the 24th at 9 a.m. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Baltimore, we love you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. The Board of Estimates is now in session for the receiving and opening of bids. The board has received the following addenda for today. Bureau of Procurement solicitation number B50006268, tree maintenance services. Bids will now be due on November 24th, 2021. Bureau of Procurement solicitation number B50006318, energy consulting services, technical proposals. Bids will now be due November 24th, 2021. Bureau of Procurement solicitation number B50006293, banking services. Bids are now due November 24th, 2021.
Okay, I'm going to move that we note these three addenda, but on the first one, tree maintenance service, I will recuse myself. So maybe why don't we note the other two?
Okay.
We do that, note 2 and 3. I move that we note them.
Second.
Moved and seconded. If there are all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we will take note of the solicitor's abstention on B50006268, tree maintenance services.
And I move approval to note that item.
Seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's move on to our first proposal. So the first proposal I have here is numbered 4. Okay. All right. So we will be starting with Department of Recreation and Parks proposal RP 18810, Druid Hill Park reptile house renovations.
Bid bond is required.
A bid bond is required of 2% if the bid is over $100,000. And I have a duplicate here, but I don't have an original with it unless they're out of order. There are 3 for this one, right?
Yes.
I just,
MCN.
yeah, I have one from Pacunis and one from,
This might be the only one they sent.
Okay. This both had duplicate on it.
Oh, so there are 2 in here?
No. This is meant MCN bill.
Yeah.
We can figure it out. So this is 1, 2, and 3.
okay, then this is
So
the
there's
only,
2 in there under the clip.
oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. There's one marked duplicate, and then there's a copy of the duplicate.
And what's the name of the bidder here?
This is from M as in Mary, C as in cat, N as in Nancy, Build Incorporated. Do you have a bid bond?
Yes.
Okay, with a bid bond and a total bid of $2,945,500 and no cents. Okay. The next bid is from E. Pacunis Construction Company Incorporated. With a bid bond. Okay. Do you have a page number for the 39? Okay. Ah, there we go. And a total base bid of $2,396,500 and no cents. And then the third bid is from Trisal Construction Incorporated. Do you see a bid bond? I'm not. I don't. You do see one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So,
yes, there's one.
okay, it has a bid bond and a total base bid of $1,832,192 and no cents.
I move that we refer these to the Department of Recreation and Parks for tabulation and report.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to the fifth proposal from Bureau of Procurement B50006090, septic tank pumping and disposal services. No bid bond is required. All right. And we have one bid from the Julian Companies Incorporated with a total bid price of $83,994.
I move that we refer this to the Bureau of Procurement for tabulation and report.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Going a little bit out of order, we're going to go to our third proposal from the Department of Recreation and Parks, a proposal for RP 20814 Mary E. Rodman Recreation Center. All right. This one requires a bid bond of 2% if the bid is over $100,000. The first bid is from E. Pacunis Construction Company Incorporated.
With a bid bond.
With a bid bond and a total bid of $1,048,000 and no cents. The next bid is from Oakmont Contracting LLC. I can't make that last part out. Let me see if I can find a printed version of it.
Oakmont Contracting LLC.
Yeah, I guess so. Oakmont Contracting LLC. I don't. Wait, I do with a bid bond.
Okay.
What page do you have?
I have 569 is the bottom. It's written out. Total bid price.
Oh. With a total bid of $1,071,776 and no cents. The next bid is from Bensky Construction Company, LLC. With a bid bond. Yeah. The total contract amount is $1,679,000.00.
This is for Bensky?
Hmm?
This is for Bensky?
For Bensky.
Okay.
Is that what you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just. They dropped a zero. I don't know whether or not to.
Did they write the number in?
I can't see it spelled out anywhere.
Okay. Maybe they tagged, okay.
And I mean, even there, this is in the affidavit. I can't find a
So,
total bid.
that's why I was just, because it was a lump sum, and then on this page,
Wait, where is that?
571C. These are weird contracts.
Oh, here we go.
I don't think that's the same number.
That's not the same number.
No.
All right. My apologies. The correct total base bid for Bensky is $1,297,000 and no cents.
Audrey, that's still being open.
And then the last bid
This will go here.
is by CNN Associates LLC
With a bid bond.
with a bid bond and a total base bid of $1,347,267 and no cents.
Yes.
I move that we refer these to the Department of Recreation and Parks for tabulation and report.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Continuing to move backwards, the proposal number 1 is Department of Public Works. Proposal SDC 7800, drainage repairs and improvements at various locations.
Bid bond over.
I'm sorry, thank you. Bid bond is required of 2% if the bid is over $100,000. The first bid is from Spinello Companies
With a bid bond.
with a bid bond and a proposed total amount for project of $5,133,000 and no cents. Next bid is from Monumental Paving and Excavating
With a bid bond.
with a bid bond and a total bid of $6,130,910 and no cents. Next bid is from Allied Contractors Incorporated
With a bid bond.
with a bid bond and a total bid of $9,516,627 and no cents. Next bid is from Anchor Construction Corporation.
With a bid bond.
with a bid bond and a total bid of $5,928,632.00. Next bid is from R.E. Harrington Plumbing and Heating Company Incorporated with a bid bond and a total bid of $6,035,845.00. The next bid is from Civil Construction LLC with a bid bond and a total bid of $4,241,200.00. And the final bid is from Triple R Construction Corporation with a bid bond and $173. There we go. No, there's not where we go. There we go. A total bid of $6,276,838.00.
I move that we refer these to the Department of Public Works for tabulation and report.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. This is item number 2, Department of Public Works proposal for SC 1020 CCTV inspection of sanitary sewers in Baltimore City, Zone B. A bid bond is required of 2% if the bid is over $100,000. The first bid is from Red Zone Robotics Incorporated
With a bid bond.
with a bid bond and a total bid of $8,989,140.00. Second bid is by Spinello Companies with a bid bond and a total bid of $10,893,300.00. And then the final bid is from Mobile Dredging and Video Pipe Incorporated
With a bid bond.
with a bid bond and a total bid amount of $10,937,600.00.
I move that we refer these to the Department of Public Works for tabulation and report.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Item number 6, Bureau of Procurement Proposal B50006287, Post Remediation Education Services. No bid bond required. Yeah. Oh, really? Are these all?
Is there only one bidder?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're all the same.
Oh, these are just lots and lots of copies of one bid by Green and Healthy Homes Initiative Incorporated with a total bid of $420,052 and no cents.
I move we refer this to the Bureau of Procurement for tabulation and report.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Number 7. Item number 7, Bureau of Procurement Proposal B50006329, Large Water Meter Testing, Repairs, and Replacement Services, Technical Proposals.
Should we just read the names, right?
Oh, that sounds fine.
Yeah. There's no financials.
Okay, well, in that case, we'll keep these bound. And the first proposal is from M.E. Simpson Company Incorporated. The second is from WMS Water Management Services, a division of Thielsch Engineering Incorporated. And the third proposal is from Vanguard Utility Service Incorporated.
I move that we refer these to the Bureau of Procurement for whatever you do with technical proposals.
I second that motion.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8. Bureau of Procurement Proposal B50006334, Unclean Brass Water Meters Disposal. Some of these you just don't want to dwell too deeply on. All right. This first bid is from United Iron and Metal, LLC. Do you have something with a bid price on it?
No. I honestly don't know what this contract is for.
Do you see a reference to the bid price?
I see something called a bid price sheet, but there's no numbers on it. I don't think this is a bid.
Well,
Pick up and recycle small industrial size.
Well, I'll tell you what.
This might be a revenue generating one, where we sell, they take it from us for recycling.
Unclean trash.
But shouldn't they at least be bidding on what they're going to give us? Well, let me look at the second one, and if the second one has a clearer, this is the second one. This one has a bid price sheet. With a bid quote factor.
Yes, I saw that as well, but
Okay. What was the bid quote factor in the one you?
6%.
Which
one are we talking about now?
So on the first, so let's going back to the first one, where was the bid price factor?
That was
On
B20.
Now, which company are we talking about?
First one was United Iron and Metal.
yes, United Iron and Metal on page B20
They have a bid quote factor.
has a bid quote factor of 48.66%, or is that a 48,66? I assume that's a 48.66. 48.66, and so let's put that down as their bid quote is 48.66%.
Yeah.
And then the second bid is from Potomac Metals Incorporated, and their bid quote factor is 30%.
Yes.
All right.
All right, I move that we refer these to the Bureau of Procurement for tabulation and report.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, Bureau of Procurement Proposal B50006343, blanket order for food, no bids received. All right. Item 10, Bureau of Procurement Proposal B50006360, hydrogen peroxide 50%. All right, these are itemized bids. No bid bond is required, but we'll just be reading the names of the companies. So the first bid is from Brentag Northeast LLC. Second bid is from Coin Chemical Company Incorporated. Sorry, George S. Coin Chemical Company Incorporated. I think this is all, well, no, maybe this is two different. Okay. This is from, we have a bid from DC Dental LLC. And from Source Technologies LLC.
I move that we refer these to the Bureau of Procurement for tabulation and report.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And the 11th and final item for today, Bureau of Procurement Proposal B50006363, salt for snow removal services. It's the most wonderful time of the year. All right. Is there just, how many
How
were
many
there?
bidders are there?
Two.
Okay.
Top copy might be two, one.
Ah. Well. No, I think this is the original, and these are copies. This is Eastern. Yeah, these are Eastern. Okay, yeah, wow, okay. All right. The first bid is from Eastern Salt Company Incorporated with a total price of $8,200,000. Oh. And then the second is a letter from Compass Minerals America Incorporated regretting that they are unable to submit a bid at this time. So I guess technically there's really just one.
So I got Alan Emons, Overland Park, Kansas on my list. Oh, that was who
Does that say
declined?
Alan Emons?
It does,
Okay.
So that's the no bid.
unless there's, yeah. Yes, the envelope. Yeah, the address is 9900 West 109th Street, Overland Park, Kansas, and that's the same address as Compass Minerals. So, yeah, this is a no bid.
No bid. All right, I move that we refer the bid to Bureau of Procurement for tabulation and report.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. There being no other business before the board at this time, the Board of Estimates stands in recess until next Wednesday, November 24th at 9 a.m. Thank you very much, and everyone stay safe.